During the Unity beta, I showed off the Phoenix Pet stats, and I said they would probably be good. So I actually got one in the live game, and I could talk about it. First off, this food, I probably already talked about it, but really, why is it a molten hot piece of pizza? It's like somebody overcooked it so bad, like left it in the oven all day, it just started to melt in the lava. I think it's pretty funny. Alright, let's actually put the pet on here. So, we can see that this tier 2 has focus and vit, fortitude warding, 40 to all resistances, but 50 to poison. Now I'm going to start off by saying that poison resist is a very nice thing to have, because in the past people had to sacrifice very important slots for it, because there wasn't that much around. There was charms, bracelets, and rings, and the charm was the best choice, but all those are important slots. Putting it on a pet slot is really helpful. Now, some people don't know what warding and fortitude is. It is an ability that you can level up by getting hit by certain skills. Now keep in mind you actually need to have the ability in order to get the effects from it. So if you have a Phoenix and you don't have these abilities, it's not going to do a thing for you. Now every point in fortitude and warding will give you a half point in the corresponding evasion. Like 2 points in fortitude will give you 1 physical attack evasion, for an example. Now the pet in-game looks really styling. It's got like this blood dust effect around it. And you can see it matches my fast too. It also has a trail when you run. You try and get a good shot on that one. So they did a real good job at making that. So the focus of it, you may say, it's a caster blessing, and it is. But a lot of people have been shooting it down for using it on melee classes. They've been saying, oh, it's not good for melee. Well, here's a little tip. If you have points in Vit, you can always rebirth those out and put them in Strength, Dex, or whatever you want. Or even more in Focus. Your choice, but there's a little bit more flexibility there than you think. Now the most important thing here, I think, is the skill. The skill, or at least for mine, I have the melee one, and it does poison damage and negative armor within 6 meters for 15 seconds. Now the skill itself takes 25 to cool down, but it also hits more with this damage than the dragon does in its initial hit. I guess that's a thing to balance off the cooldown. And it also has pretty good range. See, I got him from all the way over here. And it shoots like a cool fire breath effect out too. We'll just see the maximum range here. Now this can actually hit a critical too. Yes, that's pretty far. And another thing I want to talk about. The main thing here is not the damage, although poison damage is very nice. The thing is that it gives negative armor, and the other ones give elemental damage and the negative resistance to that element too. Now you know how armor is less effective per point the more you have? Well, the reverse works too. So if you're fighting a boss and you're not doing full damage, you definitely want to have this because it'll make you do more damage, even if it's such a small amount compared to, say, Shatter. It still adds up. And, you know, that might even be more effective than the Shatter if it's a low amount left. Now keep in mind, you can never do more than 100% damage, so going below 0 resistance or armor is not going to help you. But it's still nice to have around for heavier bosses. But as you can see here, it stacks. So you can really put a dent in enemies when you have both of those things up. Especially if you have like Assassin's Lore too. Or the new lore rings. Those all stack. Sparrowhawks. Whatever you got. As long as it's not the same thing. Now I think these could be huge for raid bosses. Other powerful bosses, PvP. I think it's good for every class, and I think it outclasses the dragon by far. Because the dragon has critical strike, and we proved how bad critical ability is. We did. The skill itself, yeah, I mean it does tick damage, but when you have lower resistance you hit more, and your hits can crit too, unlike the ticks on the dragon. Now looking at the skill and the ability in the pet, it's good. And I actually thought about it more with the skill and how you should use it. Well, this one reduces armor, and it does poison damage, and we know that poison damage is not affected by armor. So there's actually a way of doing this here, and the skill lasts for 15 seconds and Shatter lasts for 10. So if you're a warrior, you should use the skill first, and then Shatter, so your Shatter does more damage from the lower armor. Just a little trick for optimization, especially because Shatter doesn't last as long as the Phoenix thing does. And if you're a caster, like a mage, you want to use the lore first and then use the skill. So you want to do it backwards, because the Phoenix does elemental damage for that lore anyway. So you would cast your ice lore and then the Phoenix ice blast thingy, because it would increase the damage of the Phoenix's ice, since the lore is not doing crap. And especially because the Phoenix lasts a shorter amount of time, so it'll give you maximum time to throw your skills and whatnot. But yeah, if you have money, and especially if you're deciding between a dragon or a phoenix, I really suggest the phoenix. I think it's the greatest pet ever created. And I think it's a great choice for anybody. Let me know what you think. I'm curious on your opinions on this, especially versus the dragon. Because I had a lot of people saying that I was wrong about it, and that it wouldn't be that good. But even for locking, it does more initial damage, and it'll help your other skills hit more, like, say, sneaky, and stuff like that.